This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview. On Stockbox today, we're joined by the CEO of MetalNRG, Rolf Gerritsen, and the Managing Director of BritNRG, Pierpaolo Rocco. So, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And you, Rolf?
Very well, thank you.
And Pierpaolo, nice to be talking to you for the first time. Everything good with you?
My pleasure. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. And you?
Good. So Rolf, if I come to you first, you were going to complete on two projects, but only one's happened. Do you want to sort of comment on that?
Yeah, 50%, not bad, I would say. In terms of walking away from the LVG transaction, it boils down to a very simple fact, and that is that as a result of us losing a certain amount of resources, 90,000 ounces of gold, the financial proposition was not what was originally presented to us. And more importantly, it was not as attractive from a financial perspective. The result was that we looked at it very carefully. While keen on trying to progress a transaction, we are also very stringent with regard to the investment criteria. And initially, a number of boxes were ticked, and we were very comfortable with it. But with us losing those ounces of gold, some of the boxes were no longer being ticked. As a result, we looked at it and we decided to take the difficult decision to walk away from it and not pursue it, because it just didn't make sense. On the other hand, soon after, Pierpaolo announced the successful completion of the oil and gas, so there's reason to celebrate for our shareholders, I would suggest.
Okay, well, let's talk about the oil and gas. So Pierpaolo, let's come on to you. So this is the first time we're speaking, Pierpaolo. Maybe we can start with just a few words of introduction from you, a bit about your background.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a naval architect by education. That helps, but I worked in the oil and gas offshore for all my career. I'm new to the onshore world, relatively new, but we believe at MetalNRG, our strategy is in relation to oil and gas is definitely a cost champion strategy. So we are looking to minimize risk and cost as far as practical. So we understand that, like everybody else, really, the uncertainty in the long-term panorama of the energy industry in general. So we thought that if oil and gas has to be, irrespective of the size, it has to be onshore and it has to be manageable with by a company with our resources. So onshore seems to be the right way to do it, and onshore Europe, because again in Europe we understand the regulatory legal framework properly, and yes, that's we perceive that as a safer environment for us to operate. So while we're looking a little bit of a global opportunity, but really our focus is Europe and onshore. So I'm an oil and gas person. I'm sort of probably call myself an oilman, but it's been a learning curve for me the last few years now. Now our relationship with MetalNRG started because I do have past experience in transactions. I was looking to do something a little bit more creative and according to precise set of strategies. So we aligned, Rolf and I, on this element, and we decided to move forward together. And here we are. Okay.
So what attracted you to this project in particular? Did it meet all the criteria you've just spoken about?
Yes, we know, every opportunity has some merit. So at the beginning, some opportunities need to be looked a little bit more in depth to be understood. Clearly, this opportunity at the first glance had a number of issues. So we had to decide when we started looking at it. It was 6-8 months ago, 9 months ago, actually now. We decided to, there is a number of things that have to be done here. can we do this? Can we straighten this business up? And after that, would this business fit our requirements? That's why really it took a little bit more than you would say than normal in a small transaction like this. But we had to rely on a number of situations, commercial and with regulators. But once that's done, and it is done now, really the business offers very significant opportunities, we believe, and it's a great entry for in the oil and gas market. As of just before Christmas, we are qualified oil and gas operator in the UK. And clearly, that opens a tremendous amount of opportunities for us. So we changed legally a bit. So now we are really looking forward to make the other opportunities that we have on the table viable, and we go the means to do that. So now we have this deal presents to us not only the possibility to move into more acquisitions and provided appropriate financing for it. Also, we found out it opens opportunity internally. So we do see development prospects within the licenses that we have acquired. And that was a great surprise indeed. So we are working on both the sides. Our team has been structured and organized accordingly. So there's definitely significant ground for upside. And the great thing is that the business is revenue generating. So we are already we have already achieved the critical mass that we require to sustain ourselves for the necessary for the foreseeable future. So we're not really in the rush to do anything, to finance ourselves, to make decisions that we wouldn't want to make. So I think we're really well placed. We're in a good position now for the future. And now it's about time to think about what to do.
Okay, so it's revenue generating. The RNS stated as well that it was profitable under a Brent price of under $40. So I mean, it's been going a long time, this oil field. Can you give us a bit of background and the potential that you feel is still there?
Yes, well, one thing I would like to say in general, in the Midlands, we believe there is potential. So there is obviously it's onshore, relatively shallow, low pressure well. So it's not too expensive to drill. Now sometimes when you have to make a call, sometimes you choose drilling over seismic exploration. So that makes your success rate quite low. We've been looking into seismic information that we had available and found that certain things could have been done differently, so potentially better. So the idea is, okay, let's see. We can probably anticipate. We are looking to get more acreage now from the regulator, from the OGA. We do see, some potential there. Now, the interesting thing is that in one of our assets in Wisby, one well has been produced for quite some time, so a virtually flat rate. So the subsurface is not completely understood yet. It's unusual to see a flat, even if it's a small production, it's pretty flat. So the normal decay you would expect in a well like that, the well has been produced for quite a few years now. So so there is ground for development. And in our analysis, we have found at least 2 or 3 opportunities for further drilling and adding significant production. There is a very low hanging fruit because one of the producing wells is shut in, due to a wax blockage. So that's going to be done hopefully next month. So that will bring another, element of production. That will cut our break-even oil price, let's call it like that, virtually by half. And then we're looking to go lower and lower. So, like I said, production cost, what in the oil and gas we call the lifting cost, we are looking to minimize it as far as possible by any means. So we have to make our production, our business, cash generating virtually every oil price. Can only do it to a certain extent. But yes, we want to put ourselves in a safe position and making sure that we're still in a positive cash flow even when oil prices fluctuate beyond the oil control. So this is, so in the near future, we see, provided we're going to be able to get all the permits, but on Newton and Trent, we're already very well placed. Our council planning permit actually allows further drilling and even oil and gas production. That's a great news. So that license, we are working on it now, and provided everything goes well, we expect development within the year, and that would be a significant upside.
Okay, super. And you touched on it there, but I wonder if you can just maybe summarize it. What are the next steps, like for the near future? What will you be working on?
Well, we will be working on further developing Wisby, on developing Newton. Don't get me wrong, please. It's all still yet to be confirmed. The work is still being finalized, but we're not far from that. And of course, we are discussing the next acquisition. So we are looking to grow. We do it with our own resources and looking to unlock more potential by adding production from hopefully more deals. Now, to make that happen, like I said in a previous interview, we have to manage the plug and abandonment liabilities that come normally in this business, and we are working very, very seriously on that matter. And subject to that achievement, I see quite significant growth, and hopefully next couple of quarters. So we'll see.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Pierpaolo. Rolf, if I can come back to you for some final thoughts. What is it you're looking to get out of this project to achieve growth for the MNRG shareholders?
Well, I think first and foremost, Pierpaolo brings with him a wealth of experience, and just to have him on the team is great. And having worked with him over the last year or 18 months now is been great, because his focus and dedication is such that he basically structured the transaction and made it happen. So he brings a wealth of experience. Second is the opportunity that we have within Sunswept is not only to increase production over a relatively short period of time, but as a result, decrease costs. So that makes the proposition very attractive per se. And that is of great value. And third, but certainly not least, this is very much a stepping stone for us. So we're looking at other transactions, and we're looking to build up the opportunity. And with the way Pierpaolo has structured the transaction, by bringing in the private investors who are part of the management team to drive BritNRG forward, I think there's great merit in that, because as shareholders and management, we're aligned with the same objective that BritNRG is. So in terms of what I'm hoping is that, one, we see the upside that we've discussed in a relatively short period of time, and two, more importantly, that it is a stepping stone that allows us to do the next bigger and better transaction over a relatively short period of time. And again, maintaining our investment criteria and sticking to that quite firmly. So from that perspective, I think this opportunity does offer us a substantial upside, not only in the short term, but also in the longer term.
Okay, well, Pierpaolo Rocco, the Managing Director of BritNRG, and Rolf Gerritsen, the CEO of MetalNRG, thank you both very much for your time.
Great, thank you, Mark.
Thank you for listening to this Stockbox interview. For more information, interviews and videos, visit our website at stockboxmedia.com or give us a follow on Twitter by searching @StockboxMedia.